Resiliency. Adjective, the ability to recover from hardship.
I was born and raised in a refugee camp in Tanzania. Although I'm Burundian, I've never been to my country. And so I grew up in a refugee camp, with so many challenges, the things we take here for granted, such as, getting clean, having clean water, having access to education. Growing up, I didn't know anyone who went to college. I barely knew people who graduated high school. I just knew I have to get my education for me to learn and to get out of poverty and just get have a better life and make an impact in the world.
Going into freshman year, that was an incredibly hard year for me. My parents divorced when I was 3, and I grew up in an abusive home and was abused until I was about in junior high. Those were things that I just didn't ever want to come to terms with and never wanted to face head on, and so a lot of those burdens just kind of built on each other, and I entered into freshman year just carrying a lot of just the weight of that and just a lot of worthlessness and confusion, and I knew I needed to come to terms with a lot of the things that I just never wanted, that I just always wanted to avoid.
It started right off the back from freshman year, first one in my family to go to college. Pairing that with the fact that I got a full scholarship to come here, expectations were pretty high. I felt that pressure on myself to do well and kind of set that standard. I made maybe 1 or 2 B's in high school, graduated, maybe 9th out of 600 students. And so I felt pretty confident coming in that I would do well. Right after spring break, I hadn't really studied maybe like I should, and ended up making was it like a 50 on that exam? I was really down about it because I wanted to study physical therapy, and people were telling me, if you make a C, you're pretty much out of the game. It's just pretty much over for you if you're making a C. Not only was it like a mental problem, it started being very physical. I got sick right around finals. I wasn't eating right, wasn't taking care of myself. And so, it affected me in all areas of life, really. And it was such a hard thing to come out of.
When my sister was 16 years old, she decided that she needed a better environment and that I deserved something better too. So she took the initiative and got me and her out of our home, and she became my full-time guardian. I love my parents. They're still part of my life. They're just not good parents. They're good people. And so they just were unable to care for me and my sister. I learned that if people love you, then they're going to want to be around you.
Going to a small high school, everybody kind of got into everything, and I'd been really involved there and thought that this organization I had applied to was going to be what I did for the next 4 years of college. I remember opening up my computer to see the email that said, "We're really sorry, we had a lot of great applicants and we just couldn't accept you this year." I just started crying, right there in the MSC cafeteria, and I look up and one of the people who'd interviewed me was sitting 2 or 3 tables over, and it was just the most embarrassing experience, but was probably something that I very much needed.
To be resilient, it's
Facing the situation head on and not avoiding it.
Unequivocally and unapologetically refusing to quit.
No matter what challenge you face,
You can choose how to react to that. You can say, "Oh man," have a pity party for yourself and just never do anything productive ever again. Or you can
continue to remind yourself who you are.
Never losing confidence in yourself and in your abilities.
Instead of avoiding it, I just want to face it head on.
people who are resilient never give up because they are so passionate.
You're not afraid of anything. You're going to go out there, you're going to give it your best shot, and if you fall, you're going to get right back up and keep on hitting.
There's going to be hard things in life, but if you do what's right, you can make the best of it.
Seek out a community and friendship and fellowship.
I like Nelson Mandela's quote, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." I grew up with the idea that I want to go to school. Thinking back to my life in the refugee camp, how I grew up and not having a college, now being on one of the best institutions today.
Hey, whoop!
that really encouraged me. So I'm like, if I can go, if I can get here, I can go anywhere.